JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Demon Slayer, Hunter x Hunter, and a lot more anime series contend for the top spot of this generation's greatest anime. Though those series are good in their own respective places, one anime stands out from all: Attack on Titan. This shouldn't be too much of a surprise at all, considering its popularity and how well received it is around the world. But I want to take a step further and explain as to why it is the greatest anime of this generation. So with no time to waste, let the intro commence. Now, Attack on Titan started airing on April 7th, 2013. At this time, the series had a small fan base, but people knew that it was a new anime worth checking out. It was an anime which, at the time, was just about monsters called Titans destroying humanity. The series was unlike no other, and it instantly grabbed a lot of people's attention. To put into perspective how fast the series has grown, the manga in 2013, when the anime adaptation first came out, had around 20 to 25 million copies sold, whereas now in 2021, the manga has way over 100 million copies sold. This means that around 10 million copies of the manga were sold each year, which is a staggering amount in itself. Even though the anime was popular back then, it was not really regarded as an amazing or a great anime. It was just known to be a decent anime. But the main reason as to why it was not appreciated much back then was because no one knew where the story was going. Try to imagine yourself watching Attack on Titan Season 1 for the first time again. You don't know anything about it. It's completely new to you. You might think, wow, this anime is pretty cool, not bad. But I don't know, man. It's too unpredictable. I ain't gonna really appreciate this series much unless they give me more. Let me stop you there. From what I understood, the people wanted more. More of Attack on Titan, not to enjoy, but to understand and go deeper into the story. And Hajime Isayama and the studios did exactly that. They gave y'all the second season, where we see the second chapter of Aaron's life after joining the Scouts, and then the third season with two parts where we learn more about the Titans and much more history, and now we have the final season where Aaron's character has completely changed, his goals have changed, and we see the destruction of humanity and Titans. You got what you wanted, and that's just one of the many reasons Attack on Titan is great. Now, one important reason I think makes Attack on Titan the greatest anime of this generation is because of its premise. You see, making an anime with a successful premise is one thing, but to create a premise is a different thing. Let me explain. As you may all know, the series focuses on a world in which humanity tries to uncover the secrets behind the Titans that they're first scared of. Now, let me ask you one thing. Have you ever seen any anime or manga series in which humanity tries to uncover the secrets of the world? The only thing that comes close would be Made in Abyss and kind of Land the Lustrous. And don't even get me started on Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, because that is just a ripoff of Attack on Titan, which I will be covering at a later time. But to put it in perspective, let's take Madoka Magica. I believe it was the first dark magical girl anime. Now, what happened after this was a lot of creators started making more dark magical girl anime, and it became a pretty popular subgenre now known well in the anime community. Attack on Titan has done the same exact thing. Attack on Titan has created a premise which is about a sort of group of monsters trying to destroy humanity. Though this is not the full story, it is the brief concept of the series, and I feel like in the future we will see some more anime and manga which are created based off this premise. And when it comes to the origin of this premise, we can give credit to Attack on Titan for it. Now, one common question brought up in the topic of premise is, what were the original anime based upon? It is a little hard to find a whole series the anime was based upon, but Hajime Isayama did state that Attack on Titan was heavily influenced by Norse mythology. The Titans are based on the Jotnar of Norse mythology, and most notably, both the Titans and the Jotnar originated from an ancient being by the name of Ymir, which is pretty interesting. He also stated that some titans are modeled after his friends and acquaintances. The idea for creating the series came from his own hometown of Hita, located in Oita, a prefecture in the rural outpost of Kyushu. Apparently, Hita can feel as if it is cut off from the rest of the civilization. The city is encircled by tall and imposing mountains, which Isayama grew up wondering whether monsters lay beyond the mountains. This curiosity of what was beyond the mountains is what would transfer into his work, that is Attack on Titan. And yes, the walls in Attack on Titan are based upon the mountains. So when it comes to the overall setting, plot, and pacing of the anime, there's some ups and downs. As to the pacing of both, for the most part, the anime did the better job because the creator Hajime Isayama, while making the manga, was pressured by the manga producing company's deadlines and stuff, which led to the story in the manga being a little wobbly. But in return, when the anime adaptation came around, he got his freedom to make any changes, and luckily he changed the pacing in the anime so we all get a better experience. But nonetheless, if you take your time, the manga is still a great read, and the art does get a lot better each chapter. Now, the setting, plot, and world building was very, very unique. It's not every day we get to see how very vast the world is, and to see that idea in an anime series or manga series is very interesting to delve into. The mystery about the world is very interesting considering that they don't even know much about what is beyond the walls. Not only that, but the politics between the different sides of society and the feelings of the characters are portrayed so realistically in a fictional world that it doesn't even seem that unrealistic. Because in the day and age we live in, our world is kind of like Attack on Titan. Just 5% of Earth's oceans have been explored and charted. Along with everything ever discovered in space, it constitutes less than 5% of the universe. So even as humans in real life don't know much about the world other than the land we live in. Even though Attack on Titan may have some flaws, it doesn't go without saying that its way of capturing the audience's attention is unbelievable. And I'm talking from experience. You know an anime is good, or at least very interest captivating, when you can't take your eyes off of it. The overall feeling you get from Attack on Titan is what makes it so thrilling. It does it very effectively, it chooses the right times to leave us on cliffhangers, it knows the right moments to bring up any mysteries or unknown information, and the way they produced it is really extraordinary. Anyhow, that's all for this video. This video is a re-upload because after reading the manga and going back to see some episodes of the anime, I wanted to redo some parts and add in some extra stuff as well to make it much more solid. I do know that Studio Mappa had been receiving some toxic hate from people, and unfortunately I did have to private the video I made addressing the situation due to some YouTube stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's sad to see people do horrible things like this. Recently, the translator for My Hero Academia had gotten harassed, and I just really do hope that people start to be more grateful and respectful rather than hating and being toxic. Anyways, I don't want to end this video from a negative standpoint. Thank you, Hajime Isayama, for the masterpiece that is Attack on Titan. I can't believe it's going to be ending in 2 chapters in April. I can't wait for those chapters to release. But yeah, with that said, I'm gonna conclude this video. Peace.
やっぱり俺はお前と同じだ。どうか私と共に力を合わせてパラディ島の悪魔と戦ってほしい。ああ、生まれた時からこうなんだ。